we get into something and we want to think that we're different and it's going to work different for us.
Yeah.
Because we are special. But this is true for everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's got to go through this and feel the great Roger Shore said in New Albany, saying, I don't know what to do. New Albany, Indiana, you know? And everybody goes through it. Everybody feels this. Just understand that. And you are an everybody too. So
your greatest success is on the other side of discomfort and fear.
Welcome to the club.
Get on the other side of it. That's where the success happens.
Boom. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. Roger and I are here today to tell you guys the truth. We're going to give you the truth, the DA space truth of selling life insurance over the phone, face to face. Good.
Like up till now, we've not been giving them the truth.
We haven't.
What are you talking about, Chris?
Stories.
What kind of frame is that? Today,
stories.
we're going to give you the truth. Everything up till now, all 250 other episodes.
This is mommy and daddy coming into your room telling you to sit on the bed.
That was BS. Now we're going to tell you the truth today for the first time. That's it.
That's
the open.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. We never edit, so that's going to be part of this.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to talk to you guys about the only way to win in life insurance sales.
Only way.
The only way to win.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
I know. It's so
heavy.
It's binary. It's like you win or you lose. You're a winner or you're a loser. Like there's no in between.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is.
So like when someone says no to you, are you a loser?
I think some people do feel that way. Yes.
Did you ever feel like a loser when you got rejected in 7th grade?
Are you asking? Did I hang my head like Charlie Brown and the Peanuts music was playing?
8th grade?
8th grade was way different than
Also
7th
9th grade?
9th grade. Dude, I had my Ray-Bans on.
You had your Ray-Bans on.
Yeah. But we are talking about...
That was before Luxottica bought them and jacked up the price.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, look it up.
Rejection. We are talking about...
Look up the hijack of sunglasses.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, it's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can check it out here.
Yeah. Luxottica. No. Adam says no.
Adam said move on, literally.
Picture Chris in his Ray-Bans. I know he can put that on.
We're getting into this. See? We're getting into this. The only way to win in life insurance sales, and believe it or not, our little segue has to do with this. It's understanding rejection and how to work through it, how to navigate it on the front side of this. I do feel like, Roger, that many times the conversations about this industry are super exciting. The possibility is exciting, which it is. I mean, you unlimited income, whoa, you know,
financial
Ferraris.
Independence.
Yes.
Travel the world.
I don't know why my arms are moving like
Travel
this.
the world.
Yes, travel the world. Is it possible? Yes. Do we know people? Have we experienced it?
Your voice went really high there.
We have.
Have we what?
Have we experienced it? Yes, we have.
Yes.
We have experienced it. And you can too. And there's another side to this, that there's a lot of challenges that we have to face, and sometimes we will feel rejection, and we want to help you navigate that, understand it, and know how to deal with it. That's really what today's conversation is about.
When people say no.
When people say no, yeah.
Is that what this is about?
Yeah, really.
What do you do when people say no?
Yeah, what are you doing?
How do you win?
How do you win?
How do you win when people say no? All right, Chris, what do you got for us, man?
So first, what I want to help you understand is fact one, people are going to close a door on you. They're going to hang up on you. Sometimes you may hear some words that you didn't expect.
Or you didn't like.
You didn't like. Expect, like, at the door, on the phone. And then they're just going to say, sometimes they're just going to say a 2-letter word, and it's going to be no.
A 2-letter word?
2-letter word. No. N-O.
I thought you said they were going to say 2 words.
And there's a lot of...
Because that's different than a 2-letter word.
Correct. That's there's a lot of emotion that can be attached to this experience, and some people don't realize. We talk about 3 feet from gold, getting through the process, all that type of stuff. But the thing I want people to understand on the front side is, what is it that people are saying no to?
Yeah.
What is it they're saying no to?
In the 8th grade, what were they saying no to?
They were saying I should have worn more deodorant. That's what they were saying I should have done.
In the 8th grade?
Yes.
Did that start happening for you in the transition from 7th to 8th grade?
Yes.
Body odor.
Body odor.
Yeah. It's different, though, when you're doing telesales.
They can't smell it, but they can smell your desperation.
They can.
So these are some things they're saying no to, okay? One is not being bothered. Some people just don't like being bugged, right? Sometimes they're saying no to not being sold something because everybody hates being sold. And sometimes they just don't want to talk about dying. They don't want to face their own mortality, even though they and you might be saying, wait a second, Chris. This is a fun episode. Feels like a Friday. Wait a second, Chris. They filled out something that requested information, and by golly, they want to talk to me about it. I think that is the expectation that makes it feel so much like 7th grade, depending on your experience.
You requested something, and now you're rejecting me.
That's the statement that runs through people's head. You requested something, and now you're rejecting me. And what I want you to know, that's not always the case. It's not being bothered. It's not being sold. It's not facing their own mortality at this time, at this moment. Most of the time it is that. But I will tell you the truth. Not that we haven't been telling you the truth, okay? Is sometimes it is you.
That's like when people say, let me be honest with you.
Yes.
You mean up till now we haven't been?
We weren't being.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't ever say that.
So all those things could be true, but they also could be true that they are saying no to you.
They could be.
They could be.
So what?
That's the right answer.
So what, Chris?
So what? That's the right attitude.
You going to go home?
Yeah.
You going to pick up your toys and go home and pout?
Take your ball and
Are you going to go home and say your friends are not nice? Are you going to blame the leads?
Right.
Are you going to say these leads are terrible and want to call the vendor and yell and scream?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Come on, Chris.
There's all that
What are you
stuff.
going to do, Chris? What are you going to do?
Wait, this is taking me way back.
I know.
Lakeview Junior High. The first thing we want you to do, or we would encourage you to do, is acknowledging that there's a role for rejection.
Rejection is, in my opinion, it's not a reflection of a personal failure on your part.
Yeah.
Because I think some people see it that way, right? They go, I failed.
Right.
And so they internalize it like they're saying no to me. I'm personally failing at this. But it's really a step in the journey to success. I did a call last night, a coaching call with over 100 agents. We were on for an hour and 45 minutes. Literally, they were asking Q&A. I mean, it was a Q&A session at the end. It just kept going and going and going. And people were asking me, what does it take to have success the way you have? And my answer was, it's consistent action over a long period of time in a specific direction, regardless of the failures and the challenges along the way, right? Because I said, your greatest successes are on the other side of discomfort and failures. That's where the success lies. It's no different. When you start in this business, you're going to be rejected. It is a part of the process.
Yeah.
And if you can own that and not feel it, but own it, realize this is going to happen. When it happens, it's going to make me feel a certain way, but I need to tell myself with my emotional intelligence, this is part of the process. This is my journey to success.
Correct.
This is going to happen. Right. It's like, when they line up people in the military or in the police, when they're in the police academy and they hit them with the taser for the first time, right? And you see those taser videos, right? And they're getting braced in the middle and there's two people standing on either side so they don't just crack their skull open when they get hit with the taser. And man, when that thing hits, the reactions are different all over. Maybe we can show some right here. They're the best. And it's, some people flip head over heels. Some people are screaming. Other people will grab people. Other people just face plant.
Are you saying we should tase Zach on one of these podcasts?
We should tase
I'm up for it.
But it's a part of and they're doing that so they can understand what this is going to feel like.
Correct.
They want to know this is what this feels like. I'm going to embrace this pain and push my way through it. As I'm holding my my gummy here from Halloween. Look, check this out, Chris. I literally have a gummy in my hand. Yeah. So we need to see it as a part of the journey to success. So it's essential to discover the client needs and refine your technique. So in sales, you got to see past that, and then you still got to discover what the client needs are, and then just refine how you go about it, because it's a learning process. Yeah. Every time you get a rejection on a certain area, you'll be like, hey, maybe I'd say this differently. Maybe I can go at it different, but it is a part of the process. Are you ready to launch your insurance career? Excel Solutions is your go-to leader in life, accident, and health insurance pre-license training. Their cutting-edge e-learning platform is packed with rich content. Think interactive assessments, engaging videos, and customized learning paths, all tailored to your learning style. Being students ourselves, we've trusted Excel now for years to deliver top-notch training, offering high pass rates. Their streamlined prep review courses and the exam simulator are really your secret weapons to nailing the state exam the very first time. Now, you thought it couldn't get any better. Well, it just did. Life Insurance Academy listeners, you receive an epic 50% discount, reducing the regular course fee from $199 to only $99. So, all you have to do is use partner code LIA at liapodcast.org/Excel. Now, Excel spells XCEL. So don't think about it any longer. Dive headfirst into your insurance career with Excel Solutions premier pre-license training with that exclusive 50% discount just for you. Get the code, get licensed, and excel in your insurance career.
That understanding, the acknowledgement is powerful, right? The understanding that this can be a tool that goes in your tool belt is kind of be a new thought for people. Yeah. But I think athletes understand it.
Yeah, they do.
You know, when I was in high school and shooting baskets on the old basketball team, when we were shooting at peach baskets, you know, these adjustments that you have to learn to hold the ball correctly, you know, to whatever they do and the pros to make the basket. I'm just teasing. But it's these minor adjustments, and you can only learn from missing the shot. That's it. Or taking the shot to miss the shot to learn the adjustment each time. And that could be what your client's needs are. That could be your products. That could be the sales process. A lot of times it's the sales process. It's a new language. And we talk about this on our trainings, Roger, about applications and questions that you're going to ask the client, and phrases like transient ischemic attack. You know, when every agent who says it wrong. Diabetic neuropathy. Every agent says
nephropathy.
Correct.
Nephropathy and neuropathy. Two different things.
Yes. Yeah. And the first time it just stumbles out. You know, it stumbles out incorrectly.
Yeah.
But it's part of this understanding that that's a tool. So how do you use that tool? You know, if it's like a wrench, how do you turn that? And the right question is, what can I learn from this?
Yeah. You need to reframe the rejection as feedback.
Yeah.
So number one, you got to understand what they're saying no to. Number two, you got to acknowledge that there is going to be rejection. And there's a role for rejection, and that is for you to understand that it's not personal failure, but you need to find your way forward to get to the other side of that. And then you need to reframe it as feedback. So if you view each rejection as valuable information, you're going to ask yourself, not why are the leads terrible? Why aren't they buying? You're going to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And that's a different question.
Huge, major difference.
That's emotional intelligence, to ask yourself that different question.
Yeah. You've said that twice, actually.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because it becomes an emotional business. For a lot of people, they've left something to do this, and this is their only income. And they've never done this before, and they've taken a leap of faith. They've invested money in leads. They're taking a chance on themselves, and they're getting rejected. You could put you in emotional free-for-all if you're not careful.
Right.
It's important to have a good community around you. It's important you stay connected to your upline managers, stay connected in your community. But you also need to understand that this is a learning experience and that you can learn from it. So you got to reframe rejection as feedback.
As we're saying that, I want to give them the turn, like how do you turn it this way, lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. I want to give them just a taste of some of our coaching. Like when we talk about the 5 reasons why people don't buy, trust, need, want, urgency, money. That is a grid of testing against failure. Like, did I not address one of the, I'm going very fast. This is very high level, but I want you to know at the very basic of it, was there enough urgency in my sales process? Probably not. I need to work on that. Did they say they wanted it?
Did I uncover need?
Did I uncover the need? Right.
Have I established trust?
Absolutely. And we can go through that grid and it will remove some of those emotional pieces to it. But
correct.
You are correct at the very beginning of this, that this is an emotional business. And I started this conversation that many times you see the hype commercials. Matter of fact, we may even be interrupted. Our podcast may be interrupted because somebody jumps on a beach saying, hey, did you know that you can live in a $500,000 house on the beach? Like some guy doing that thing.
If you're not buying my leads, you're crazy.
Yeah. So, but this is the key thing on the front side, because we talk to new agents so often, is to expect rejection. Expect it. Matter of fact, we could say out of 100 leads, if you're brand new, I'm going to be, and you're doing telesales, okay? 100 leads and you're doing telesales, I'm going to be very happy on the first week if you get 7 applications. That feels weird, probably to a new agent who's hearing that.
Less than 10%.
Right. I mean, that's not Hall of Fame baseball. It's not. But you don't know anything yet. You don't know anything. It's like when we all go out golfing, you chuckle every time when I hit it in the woods and I'm like, golly, man, what the heck's going on here?
It's pretty funny.
Get frustrated.
Especially when you get all,
Well, I golf what? 2 times a month? Maybe.
He's like the nicest guy everywhere. And when he gets on the golf course, he becomes this angry rabbi.
Just angry.
That's his handle, by the way. His gamer handle. Angry Rabbi. You can look him up on Call of Duty. Xbox. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So
he becomes Angry Rabbi out there. I don't understand why.
You have to be realistic. Now, can we bump that number up to 10, 15, 20, 30%?
Well, that's pretty high. 30.
Yeah. We can.
Yeah.
Folks can do it. But it comes down to your emotional intelligence, work ethic, your sales process, all of those pieces. So expect it, but stay optimistic.
Stay optimistic. There you go.
That's right.
You got to know that you're going to shank it in the woods. You got to be fine with it. You got to look at your buddy who wants to laugh at you, drop another ball,
and do this.
Swing it again. Swing the club again.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. You got to do it again. All right. So what are some steps to move past rejection? We understand that there's some, we got to understand it first of all. And now what are some steps to move past it? So I would say the first thing you need to do is you need to reflect on it, because if you don't reflect on it, you just ignore it, you're not learning from it.
You just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're not learning from it.
Expecting a different result.
You have to take a moment to evaluate what happened. So you need to ask yourself some questions. Did I skip a step? Is there something about the 5 real reasons that I didn't cover? Did I rush the process? Did I misunderstand a need or what the client really wanted? And I'm trying to sell something that they're not saying that they want or need, because I'm trying to sell it for me and not for them. And if you have some honest self-reflection here and not criticism, I think you'll achieve the goal of what we say when we say reflect without dwelling. So you have to do that. You have to expect it, reflect on it without dwelling on it.
Reflect it to pull out the data that you need.
Correct.
To make the adjustments.
Yeah. If you were a machine, the machine would have no emotion tied to it.
Not at all.
It would just be metrics. It would just be data.
Correct.
Numbers and data.
Adjustment.
Yeah.
Correct.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, we're human beings and we have feelings.
This is why the machines win in Terminator.
In every dystopian movie, the machines win. The machines win.
Love wins,
I'll
right?
be back.
Adam, love wins. So the other part is practice letting go. Take what you need and then letting go of it. This is a moment, and it's not a definition.
This sounds like a bad rom-com theme message. If you love it, let it go.
No, well,
if it comes back
actually,
to you, it was always yours. If it doesn't, it never was. Practice letting
eat,
go.
pray, live.
Eat, pray.
Is that it? Eat, pray, live?
I don't know.
Eat, pray, love. It's those robots.
Not much difference between live and love.
I do want to
eating.
I do have some things to say in regards to this because I do think this is you said emotional intelligence. I also think there's an ingredient of grit in this. For me, when I was going through this learning curve and this process, I'm a very visual person, and I would imagine there was a box by my door and all the stressors and all that stuff. I'd put it in this box, leave it there, and then I would go out, do my work, and then come back. That's part one. I'll give you another part of this, Roger. And this was incredibly helpful. You make fun of my pop knowledge, but this is going to blow your mind, okay? I got this from Lost, the TV show. Okay? There's a great scene where...
I hope it was in one of the early seasons because it got weird.
It was actually in the first season.
It got weird.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened to some of those people and where some of those creatures came from.
That's right. The doctor on there is talking about a moment when he was afraid during a surgery. All right. And it was a very traumatic moment. And he was doing neurosurgery. It doesn't matter really what it was. But he said this, and I thought it was so good. And he said, I started to feel afraid. And in that moment, I counted to 5. And I said, fear, you can do whatever you want to me. Do whatever you want in these 5 seconds, but after these 5 seconds, it's over. And I love that. I thought that was really good. I tell agents that. I tell them about the scene. I don't steal it, but I really like that.
You should steal it. You only need to give attribution like 6 or 7 times, and then it's yours.
You forget, and this is the point with emotional intelligence, grid, or whatever. You forget you are the one in control. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to give one more thing. I know you held up the sign. I'm going to give one more thing here, okay? Another fun game for me, and Roger, you can add more to this or not, is another game I would play mentally and emotionally is what is the worst that could happen? What is the worst? What? Like
worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, like it doesn't work out. I go get a job. I have to do something different. Like what is the very worst? If I give this my all, and other people are winning, and I'm a human being, they're a human being, I can do it too. So I'm going to do that. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not dead.
Chris, you just hit on something that brought me right to a specific moment in my life.
I saw you do that. You
hit a specific moment in my life.
Okay.
It was a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
It was an inflection point that turned everything for me.
Okay.
Everything.
Do tell.
Everything.
Are you okay with that, Adam?
So when I first moved here from Canada, and this was prior to me getting in the insurance business. This was when we were in the advertising business, in Yellow Pages and publishing and selling advertising, business to business. And I came down here with my father-in-law to find a place for Rose and I to live, to rent, because we put an offer on a house. We didn't have enough money. We didn't have the right visas.
Well, they don't take Canadian money here, Roger.
And the visa was the thing that they backed out because we only had a temporary visa, so they wouldn't accept our offer on this house, even though the owner had accepted it and everything. Like the banks wouldn't approve it. And I was kind of upside down. We were moving down here. I let go of the home back in Toronto, and 2 little girls, 5 and 7. And man, my emotions were running high. Like, have I made the right decision? I'm moving my family to New Albany, Indiana, right across the river from Louisville, and I don't even know this place. And like, I called up Rosemary's dad and asked if he would come down and help me make a decision on whether I should move forward on this. And we looked around. We found a house. I liked the house. We went back to a little hotel, which is now the Sheraton, right in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And I remember sitting in the room, and I said, Dad, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
Wow.
And he looked at me, and literally with tears in his eyes, because I was literally taking his oldest daughter away with his only 2 grandkids and moving her out of the country.
Wow.
Like, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know what to do. And he said, I think you should at least give this a couple of years and give it your best shot.
Wow.
He said, I believe in you. He said, it's one of the hardest things for me to say because I don't want you to come here because it's going to mean that we're not able to come see you every week and see the girls. And he said, but if you don't take this shot, I think you'll always regret it. He said, the only thing I can ask you to think about is, what is the worst that can possibly happen? What's the worst that can possibly happen to you? He said, you're not going to die.
Yeah.
You'll always have food to eat.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work out, you can move back and literally move in with us until you figure out the next step.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the worst case scenario? You come down and it doesn't work out the way you thought? Or what if you come down and it was one of the best decisions of your life? He said, I think if you pack it up now and come home, you'll regret this decision forever. He said, because the worst case scenario is not that bad.
Yeah.
And that worst case scenario played out for me, and that's all I needed, man.
Wow.
That gave me the courage and the confidence to move forward. I felt like I got his blessing, and he put it in context that I could process emotionally. You're right. What is the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Because what is the opposite of that?
That's right.
It could be the best thing in your life.
That's right.
If you give it your all.
That's right.
Right? I think we should wrap with this last one, if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing here is celebrating small wins. I know Zach is really, really big on this. He talks about this a lot. Sure, we want the applications and we want the annualized premium, but what is the goal of a door knock? What is the goal of a
phone call?
Mm-hmm. It's for somebody to pick up on the phone. It's for somebody to open the door on a door knock, you know?
Yep.
And if we can break this up into manageable wins, did I extend the phone call from the pickup? Did I move towards a presentation? From the presentation, did I address in the presentation, did I address need? And they communicated why they wanted it. I gave them options and I moved to a close. Like those are all little steps. And yes, I moved to the next one. I moved to the next one that will lead to an application, right? And even Zach would talk about how he moved quickly into writing a lot of production and then got a lot of chargebacks. And some agents would say, I was a failure because of that. But Zach learned to adapt and focus on the stakes and figure out with good coaching that it was a dial that could be controlled and not just looking at it as a loss.
Yeah, it's celebrating the small wins on your activity rather than focusing just on the outcome. So if you focus on your efforts and activity and not just the outcome, it will allow you to see it more like the machine.
Yeah.
More like pulling out the data and the metrics and saying, hey, this is a function of activity in yields these results out.
Yeah.
And you have to be bad before you're good. Rejection is going to come.
Yeah.
And so the steps to moving past rejection is, number one, you got to reflect on it without dwelling it. So take a moment to evaluate what happened. Don't skip that. Stay in it for a moment. Honest self-reflection is the goal here. Number two, you need to practice letting go. Yes, this is a moment, but it's not a full definition of my career. And then lastly, you got to celebrate the small wins on your activity. And if you put the focus on the activity and not on the individual result, it puts you in a great mindset. So rewarding yourself for these small wins keeps your motivation high. Maybe we can sum it all up with just a few extra things. Like some people say, what are some closing thoughts, or what's one big takeaway? And I've always heard this. This is going to sound cheesy, but if you just reset with things like this, every no brings me closer to a yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It's a mind.
Go for no. The book, Go for No. Maybe we can put a link to that.
We aren't
that
sponsored
book.
by it, but yeah.
Yeah. Go for No is a great book. It teaches you to focus on activity, which is going to yield in rejection. But ultimately, in that rejection, there's enough people that say yes that it elevates your career and you can move forward. So every no brings me closer to a yes. Maybe something like a rapid reframe, like saying, I'm just one call away from success.
Yeah.
I'm just one more no away from success.
And saying it. You need to hear
say it
your
out
ears
loud.
need to hear
Say it
yourself
out
say
loud.
things.
And I would say if you're having a really rough time, you got to reset. You got to step outside for a minute. You got to play some music. You got to have a refresh on your mindset. Do something different, and then come back and attack it.
Like you would Irish clog dance on the side of the road.
Exactly.
As a reset for you.
Yeah.
That was Weird, but works.
Irish clog dance. Guys, I don't understand his brain. I tell you what, the stuff that comes out of his brain sometimes, I just don't understand it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, world. But this is what I've gotten. This is the guy. Yes, Irish clog dancing on the side of the road. Can we put Chris in that, because I know he sees himself doing that, because it's certainly not me. Great. I want to see Chris in some Irish tights, straight arms. It's Irish clog dancing on the side of the road.
You know, as we're talking about, as we wrap up this call, this show, the thing I think of is, you know, your mom's always say the smart things, you know, you're special, but you're not special. You're special, but so is everybody else. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
She's the one who said, it's okay, Chris. She doesn't deserve you anyway.
That's right.
She said that a lot.
And she was right. She said that a lot. So many jokes. But I do think that we get into something and we want to think that we're different and it's going to work different for us.
Yeah.
Because we are special. But this is true for everybody.
Yep.
Everybody's got to go through this and feel the great Roger Shore said in New Albany, saying, I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. New Albany, Indiana, you know? Mm. And everybody goes through it. Everybody feels this. Just understand that. And you are an everybody too. So
your greatest success is on the other side of discomfort and fear.
Welcome to the club.
Get on the other side of it. That's where the success happens.
Boom.
Hope this episode was helpful for you guys. Understanding rejection as a part of the process, how to reframe it and move past it. If you can do that, this won't just apply to your sales career. It'll apply to most everything in your life.
True.
Because you're going to come up against obstacles in many other places in your life. And if you can reframe it that way, it's going to make a massive difference for you in all your future endeavors. So hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please share it. Please like it. Please give us some comments. Let us know your thoughts. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that on our channel. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast.